Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Yes, I'm here.
Meenakshi ji, yeah. Very good evening and welcome to this day 3, track 3 of GTF. And I'll definitely wanting you to welcome firstly to this particular workshop. And what we'll do is I'll just brief you for all of us who are there online as well as on the live stream. And then I think you can take up for the further workshop.
Okay.
So friends, we have here Meenakshi Suri ma'am, who would be taking us through the workshop for 9 seeds of unity consciousness. And to introduce her, she is already a founder of co-creator circles and a visionary, and associated with different groups and global movements for world transformation for quite few years now. As well, she has traveled across the globe and across all continents, in this context. And her lifetime study will be comparative religion, meditation, different forms of psychology, management, and different techniques for taking up uh, this particular domain further, and with interactions in different moments. So I think Meenakshi ji, what I would rather put across before starting is, if you can just also brief what is the founder co-creator circle which you have mentioned. So just that particular point, if you can just brush up, and then you can start with the
Okay.
activity.
So, well, as you can see from my gray hair, I've lived many years on this earth and done many things as we do in our human civilized societies. And always there has been an inner journey with nature, with inner inquiry, with visions, and all of these were seemed separate because there's an outer life and an inner life. And suddenly I felt, it's time to bring it all together. And so some of my students would tell me, you should make a business with your name. And I said, my name is while I'm alive. This is not what I'm interested in propagating. What I would like is something that brings out your gifts, the people that I've met in my life, such wonderful people around, something that can stay even after I've gone. And so what I called it was co-creator circle. And it's a place where I call it a place where I find gems and I like to show them to the world. In a way, it's
Yeah,
very close to what we are doing at the World United in
yeah.
a bigger way because mine
Okay,
is
okay.
just something that I started last year, so it's growing slowly. Thank
Yeah,
you for asking, Anandji.
yeah. What I will do, Meenakshi ji, is now I will be muting myself as well as my video because it will not toggle. Uh, so I'll just
Okay,
mute myself and then you can take forward.
okay. So I'll start with saying I'm very grateful for this beautiful platform through which we can reach as many people as possible. And what I'm sharing is a practical way of reaching unity consciousness. And just like plants and just like trees, we also can grow with seeds of unity consciousness. So I actually always like interactive workshops, but I think this one is going to be more like a talk. So let's, in our minds, if you're here, let's just try to think, what are these seeds? What are these 9 seeds of unity consciousness? And this is based on a channeled material by Tavita Grant. A few years ago, in just 4 or 5 days, she got this message. Some of you may be already familiar with what you see inside, which is a part of the flower of life, the sacred geometry of this universe. This is the aspect which is called the seed of life. And so this we're going to start seeing what are the 9 seeds of unity consciousness. The first is what I think, thought. The second is what we speak. What are the words that come out from our mind, from our mouth, and also the words that we write. It could also be the thoughts that we think. And then the action. What are the actions we take? And as you can see, these 3 are connected in a golden triangle. What I think, what I say, and what we do. All of these form the basis of our unity consciousness. They are the golden triangle. In a way, they are the basis of who we are. We are also responsible for our health, mental and physical. And this uh, is the seeds, because when we are healthy, it's easier to go deeper into what is unity consciousness. And creating and co-creating right relationships, as Jyoti ji showed us, the Buddha and what he taught us, and one of the aspects of his eightfold path were right relationship. How do we develop right relationships? And this is to ourselves, to the people around us, and also to people who we don't really know. But like, for example, in this platform, we are connecting with people whom we may not meet, but who will meet us through what we are presenting. And we are also creating a relationship with them. You know, the Buddha showed us the path of enlightenment. And he showed us that it is not just for some beings, it is for all beings. In fact, as Tavita has written in her book, this is one of our responsibilities. It's also, as we can say, our responsibility. When we realize that it is not only possible but also our responsibility to make sure that we learn and we develop and we grow as much as we can in our lifetime through all the teachings of the sages who have gone before us and who are here with us right now. Then we realize that yes, we can also develop this another seed of unity consciousness. And then at the center of it all is the I am presence, the being that you feel that you are. This also is a very important seed, because when we are talking of oneness, it is not about losing ourselves so much as actually finding the real self that we are. And then we are able to do service and co-creation when these first 7 have been found and have been sowed, when we have sowed and planted these seeds. And finally, we come to unity. The unity consciousness comes when all these seeds are planted. So actually, the seed of unity is also a seed in itself. So I always ask this question. We are talking of unity. What is unity for you? And I would like us to pause for a moment at this stage. There is this image here, but for a moment, if you can close your eyes and just feel for yourself, what is the meaning of unity? Is it feeling at one with yourself? Is it connecting all the different parts of your body, your mind? Is it going deep inside yourself and seeing that all your organs work with one another? Or is it being in unity with the people around us, maybe with the family? Or is it being in unity with your culture, with your larger family, with the people who you feel are yours? That is to say, maybe they are people of your caste, or people of your state, or people of your country. Or is it with the entire earth? Is it with the whole world? Is it with every human being on earth? Are we supposed to feel unity with every human being on earth? What is it that you feel? This is the important thing in planting the seeds. It's not about a teaching, it's about your own feeling. What about the animals? There are animals sometimes that we have domesticated and which may be as pets, or nowadays they are like animal family within our home, or they may be farm animals, maybe ones whom we are tending to, or the wild animals around us. Are we in unity with them? Does unity mean to be, does the united world mean that we are in unity not only with human beings, but also with our animal brothers and sisters and children? What about the plants and the trees? What about them? So many of us feel connected with plants, connected with trees. I know that whenever I go around the city, I see the flowers which are the trees which are flowering, and I see that they themselves are also forming a unity. The trees speak to one another. The scientists have found that now. Not only that, but the trees speak to us. Recently, I had to have one tree cut down. It was breaking my heart because I don't like to cut trees down. I bought this house only because it had so many trees which had grown in this land. But some of the trees had been planted too close to the house, and so the house was breaking. And I was advised that this tree needs to be cut. And I went to the tree and I apologized and I hugged it and I said, I'm so sorry. And my heart was just breaking. It breaks even when I'm thinking of it right now. And then I shared this with a group that I have. Whenever I teach people, I form a group so that they are connected with one another. Because when we teach, we are also learning and we are forming communities. That is another kind of unity. You see, community. And I shared with them how my heart is breaking. And one of them said, listen to the tree. Ask the tree what it's saying. And I did. I just went deep inside myself and listened to the tree. Instead of speaking, I listened. And the tree just showed me the house full of light. And I know many things had to be repaired here which were not being repaired. And I see that now they have started. So this unity is there with the trees. The unity is there with the animals. You're meditating, and when you're meditating in nature, suddenly a bird will come, suddenly a butterfly will go. One of my favorite meditations, which I call, is just follow the butterfly. It's the easiest way to still your mind while your eyes are moving, but your mind becomes still because all you're doing is following how a butterfly flits from one flower to another. So this is how we can be in unity with all of life. We have not yet talked about the microbials, the germs. There are whole colonies of germs living within us. Most of them are actually beneficial to us because they help us to digest our food and they help us to live in our world. Do we feel unity with them? Are we even aware of them in a pleasant way? And is any germ actually negative or bad for us? Harmful is something really harmful, maybe something that seems to harm us at the physical level is helping us to grow at a spiritual level, at a mental level, just like COVID. When this COVID-19 came, just look at how we are meeting right now. Otherwise, the first World Parliament was held in one city. Many countries could come, but then many people could not. More people can join when something is online. Both online and offline have a beautiful way of uniting. But this is it. Nothing is just bad. Nothing is just, actually, nothing in this world has been made to harm human beings or to harm anyone. When we realize that, then we realize that yes, this world really is a place that benefits all beings. The byline of Co-Creator Circle is, let's co-create a world that benefits all beings. And then I realize actually that is what we are doing. We may not realize it, even when there's anger or fighting or violence, the underlying sense of it is some form of unity. You can't really fight with someone that you're not feeling a connection to. So it's a very low vibration of unity, but that unity is also there. But you know what I love in this image also? Just see where it goes. It goes all the way to whom we might call extraterrestrials, aliens, alien beings. It has, do you feel connected with them? Do you feel we are united with the people who are on other planets in our solar system or even in our galaxy, in not outside our solar system? How far can we go with the feeling of a world united? What about the elements of Earth? All the elements are represented here. If you can see the image behind me of Gaia, all the elements are there as well. So this is a very important thing to examine for ourselves. What is unity? What is the world to which we are uniting? How far, how deep are we going? And what is the meaning of this unity? What happens when we are united? And as people who know me, they know that I speak of Gaia. And Gaia is a beautiful way, or Pachamama, or Dharti Mata, uh, Mother Earth, whichever way we think of it, this Earth, with her beautiful thin blue line, the atmosphere around her through which we can breathe and live. We are living just because of this lovely atmosphere around the Earth, around our planet. Just because of that, we can feel the love that the Earth has for us, for all her children. We are all her children. And as I had shared yesterday, we are not even, we are not only on the earth when we are alive, but even after we die. One way or the other, we merge into one of the elements of the earth, whichever way our physical bodies are disposed of. And so we are linked to our ancestors. So you see, through the earth, we are actually linked to everyone, every being who has ever lived. Because every being who has ever lived has in some way just merged with the mud and the soil and the dust and the air on Mother Earth, which we are seeing all around us. If we are able to do this in a wise way, then these things do not cause pollution, but they cause connection. They help us to know that we are not alone and that we are not a little dot in this universe, but we are something that is eternal. We are part of an eternal flow of life. This also is a unity. This also is the world united. And the smile, the calmness that comes, the way that you were speaking of earlier, Jyotiji. This is the beautiful mindfulness that comes when we have these images and visions in our mind. And what about uh, like I was saying, what about the aliens? What about people of other planets? Can we think that if we meet people, and maybe we do, so many people have said that those who we consider gods are living in other worlds, they're living in other dimensions. We don't know what they look like, but so we make them look like human beings, we make them look like we do. Are we made in God's image, or are gods made in our image? Not all people in other planets are gods. How is it? We don't know, but we do feel that there's life on other planets also in the universe. So are we also feeling unity with them? Does the world united mean that we are in unity with everyone? So we have gone very far and we have gone very close. We have gone into our body, the germs in our body, and the organs, and we've gone out into the universe. This helps a lot whenever a person is feeling disturbed, whenever we feel uh, what's going on in the world, something is horrible, everything is bad, everything is negative. It helps to step out, it helps to get a wide perspective, see everything, like this harsinghar that was blooming in my garden. And when I see these flowers, I get connected again to my mother India, because I'm not living there anymore. But when I have of the flowers that I had in our garden there, then I feel I'm connected. So stepping out from a situation helps us to become calm and peaceful. But if we step too far away and we start losing the sense of ourself and we are not centered enough, then we can get confused. And at that time, we can step in, narrow our focus. So just like we do in a camera, we can make the focus far or near. We can do the same with our own mental self. And in doing that, we are able to feel which level are we able to feel united with. If you don't feel united with the whole world, that's okay. Feel in unity first with your own body, with your own self. Feel the connection between your own mind and body. Feel the connection with just your family. Feel the connection with just your neighborhood. Wherever you feel a good, happy connection, where you feel happiness, then you know, okay, now I have reached this, where you feel smile, and now let me expand it a little more, a little more, a little more, till we can find all those seeds that we spoke about. But to really feel that unity, there's a very good explanation, there's a very good suggestion that I can give, and that is to think that whatever we are doing is helping with the unity of the world. Why? Because we are all interconnected. There's nothing that one person can do which doesn't affect others. Even like we have now learned, when you're washing your hands, you know that you're helping to stop the spread of germs which can injure. I won't say harm, but which can injure. Even a little action that we feel is completely personal is affecting everything and everyone around us. Like they say, if there's a butterfly that flaps its wings somewhere, it will affect, it may bring a tornado in a country far away, just like tornadoes actually move. So nothing in our life is small. So if we get into this consciousness, whatever action I'm taking, whatever thought I'm thinking, whatever words I'm speaking, all those nine responsibilities that we have, all those nine seeds, whatever I am feeling about myself, when I am working for my enlightenment, when I'm looking after my health, when I'm establishing right relationships, I'm always serving the world. In all of this, I'm serving everyone and everything. I'm co creating with all of us, are co creating this world. It's not that we need to, but that we actually are. So, what we really have to develop is our awareness, our conscious awareness, our awareness of our consciousness, of what is actually happening in the world. We actually already are united. We actually are one. There's a very beautiful theory by Professor Park Jae-woo, which he called tri-origin theory, that everything in this world and this universe has got these four states and these three forces. Within is that soul, which is the source and has no it has no force, it has no action, but it acts through everything else. And today I just want to talk about how it is in relation with our relationships. So we have a relationship with ourselves, we have a relationship with our family, we have a relationship with the world. When we understand all this, we will see that it is all coming from the connection we have from our soul. If we go with that soul awareness, we'll realize that our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our family and with the world, all of this will become in a very beautiful, unified whole. It is already happening, but as we were saying, sometimes we are just not aware that that's what's happening. The universe supports us in what we want to create. Do you feel that? Feel this deeply. It is not that the universe is against us. They say that the moment you have a wish, the moment you make it into an intention, everything in this universe comes to help us. Because actually, the intentions that we have, the wishes that we have, the desires that we have, like right now, all of us are wishing for a united world, a world that benefits all beings. Why has that wish been planted in us? It is not, it didn't come from us. We may think it's coming from us, but it's coming from the wholeness that we are. It's coming maybe from God. It's coming from a higher source. It's because just in unity itself, that largeness has come. In unity, our vibrations have been raised. So we have been receiving messages from a higher dimension. The higher dimension has us. We are not separate from that higher dimension. We are an aspect of it. And that is why we are creating every moment of our life. What we are doing right now, we are creating. We are listening to one another or not listening. We are getting distracted. Whatever we choose, we are creating every moment of our life. We are creating to our thought. This is the most powerful, where we think, and I always feel that thought is like a river. There's a river of thought that goes around and that unifies all of us. That is why so many of us get the same idea at the same time. Some of us say, okay, I had this thought, I'm now going to speak it and share it and work it. Some of us say, no, not right now. Let this thought go to somebody else. I can't talk about it. I can't understand it. So thought is a river and we plug into it. And from that, everything that we are starts. Everything that we think, everything that we manifest starts with our thought process. That's the most important and the first seed. Each moment we are creating, even when we are still, and then when there's no awareness of thought, when we just had this experience before my this workshop, when we were in calmness, in mindfulness, that was we were co-creating such beautiful things. So it's a lovely question to ask ourselves right now. What am I co-creating? What am I creating? What are we creating together? And if we are all creating unity, then our thought has a very beautiful, gentle, peaceful vibration. Just for a moment, I would like all of us to just stay in this presence, just feeling, what am I creating in my world? What am I creating in this world? How does my thought, my actions, my speech affect me? How does how do they affect my family? And how do they affect my world? How large is my world? How tiny? How beautiful? Can I sense the peace even below the strife? Can I feel the unity even when there seems to be disharmony? Can I see that the world is always striving towards harmony? Can I see that there's nothing in this world but love? And as we awake and as we commit to enlightening ourselves, we are able to co-create a world that benefits all beings, sentient and insentient. I invite you to have a practice every day at any time that you choose, and just go with gratitude and love. Just enter into any space that makes you feel gratitude and love. The most beautiful space is Earth, Mother Earth, Dharti Mata. But whichever space, maybe it is your own family, whatever you love, just enter with loving gratitude into that space. We are all in there together, in the heart of Mother Earth, in her arms. We are all there. We are all being loved. We feel sometimes that we are hurting the earth, we have harmed it, and we feel guilty. And I say, just turn your guilt into gratitude. Because today, just a few days ago, we have learned that microbes have now developed in the ocean, which are eating up the plastic, which has polluted the oceans for so many years. Mother Earth will help us. We have to keep our vibrations raised. And how do we keep them raised? By feeling this world, by feeling our world, by feeling ourselves as united beings. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here and for co creating this world.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much, firstly, for such an interesting talk and such a, such a vibrating experience as such. So, ma'am, it was really wonderful for for understanding a different perspective. Uh, See, because all along, if you ask me, rather, the only unity which we know of is our body. See, that is the only perfect unity which maybe we can define, because see, we are not feeling if each and every organ separately. When we talk about body, it is one. We never talk about lungs, we never talk about pancreas, we don't even don't even experience it as a separate entities. So if what I understand is the same concept, if we extend it outwards to the entire cosmos, is what is the meaning of unity. And the seeds which you have talked about, I think that will take us through for getting that kind of experience, I suppose. So
Thank you.
so again,
Yes,
one
because
more. Yeah.
see, if you look at it, even the organs, we are related to the earth through our organs. They're the same elements on the earth and inside us.
Yeah. But see, the issue which maybe people will relate to it. Uh, See, whenever right now, even if we think of it, it is still on the intellectual level. It is not on our experiential level. See, even if we talk about unity with the universe and all the organisms, the moment there's a mosquito bite, we forget everything. So so the point is, again, how to and how to have that same intellectual thought converted into an experiential rather experience of unity.
You know,
So that,
Anandji,
yeah.
yeah, sorry, I don't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you,
yeah,
please.
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
You talked about a mosquito, and just yesterday, one of my students was laughing and telling me, Meenakshi, I've got lots of natural acupuncture, because that's what I say when a mosquito bites me. I say, look at this beautiful mother. She's going around looking for food for her children. She's coming and she's finding me. She's finding my blood. And I am for her a source of such joy. For me, my body has become a source for her food. How can I mind that? So you see, when you go through these 9 seeds that we spoke about, they're very practical tools. This is a course that I give. It's called the 9 response abilities. And when you go, it's not a course of one day, it's a course of at least 9 weeks, very intensive. So we do have to develop it. Then what happens is that your reaction changes. When your reflex changes, then you know that yes, now I have entered this field of unity consciousness. So, as you said, it's not an intellectual exercise, it is an
Correct.
experiential exercise, and we have to work at it. This is not something that can come by discussions. This is something that
Correct.
comes
Correct.
with intense inner work.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. So, yeah, definitely. So, I think this is a very, this is a topic which is, you know, exactly in tune with what mm, the unity consciousness or this GTF right now is all about. That we, find ways and means to, one is the raise our consciousness, as well, experience the unity, experientially, with not only with the beings, but every life form rather, and not even life forms. It will be the entire cosmos as such.
And I
So
want to say one
I
more
think
thing,
that is the
Anandji. Yeah, sorry, I'm going on
yeah yeah
interrupting you.
yeah yeah yeah. Please, no issues, no issues. Yeah, yeah.
You know, we think that, like, for example, what I said, sometimes people will say, oh, but this is not practical. So you've been bitten by a mosquito, now you'll fall ill. But it's very practical because what happens to us depends on our state of mind. Buddha showed that. Two people can eat the same poison. Mirabai showed it. But if inside you and inside you your inner harmony is strong, it will not hurt even the body. And why is that? Because of the parasympathetic nervous system. When we are in a state of calmness and peace, then our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us to refresh our body, is alive and awake. So it can fight if anything is trying, or our sympathetic nervous system comes alive and will help to fight anything that comes inside us. So it's actually a practical way. Unity is a very practical need for human beings. It's not just a theoretical need.
Yeah, what a wonderful way to exist if we achieve that, definitely. On this thought, I think I would rather take it up further with the next speaker, ma'am. Uh, but it was joy listening to you, and a great experience as such, ma'am. Thank you.